Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing? Man, Antonelli here. Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Matt Antonelli here. Today we are talking about keeping our head still while hitting. And how do you do that? I get that question a lot. Coach, my head's drifting forward. I can't keep my head still while swinging. What can I do to help? So we're going to talk about a couple of things. The first thing is, when it comes to keeping your head still, what you'll see is when hitters are striding, and everyone's got different strides, right? Some guys have really big strides, some hitters have smaller strides, but what you'll see is the head typically is going to have a little bit of movement. Now, again, it depends on the type of stride. So guys with smaller strides aren't going to move as far forward with their head. Guys that are kind of taller and they're going to have bigger strides, well, they'll have a little bit more movement. But the important thing is that once the swing is actually launched, the head should not go forward anymore. The head's got to stay still. And a couple of things that I think make it difficult for hitters to keep their head still. The first thing is when hitters that don't really do a good job of getting loaded around their back leg and want to shift their weight forward or jump forward. So we've talked about this a little bit in a prior video. A couple of things to think of. The first thing is when I lift this front leg, I've got to feel like I'm coiling and getting around this leg. So we tell our hitters to try to take their back pocket towards the pitcher. So if I'm this way, this back pocket of my right leg is going to turn slightly towards the pitcher, and that's going to help me get coiled and around this leg right here. And so when I do that and I'm moving out as I'm kind of coiling here, right? So I'm coiling as I'm moving out, I'm not going to jump or leap forward. I'll have a much more controlled move. Guys that end up leaping are players that sometimes will just shift back, so they don't really coil, they just shift back with all their weight, and then when they go forward, they push all their weight forward. So we talk to our guys about coiling. We also talk to them about hinging their hips back. So what you'll see is most guys, when they coil up, they'll also be butt out. So their hips are gonna hinge back this way. They're gonna get chest over as they move, okay? And so that move is gonna allow them to stay back as they're striding forward, so their head won't move as much. Now, when the swing, again, is launched, the other thing that players do that will push their head forward is that they don't tilt when they launch. So they'll either just rotate, right? So they just turn, their upper body just turns to the left for righty or to the right for a lefty, right? So their head is gonna move, right, forward this way. So I'm just doing this, okay? So I push forward and then I do that and my head never gets behind the ball. So I've got to do a good job of coiling. But then when I launch the bat, I want to feel more of a north-south with my upper body. So I take my upper body back. So as my lower half is turning and as my leg starts to turn, my upper body works this way more. Not this way, not forward, but back. That keeps my head back. That allows my barrel to get into the zone early. So my barrel goes here and then gets turned up into the ball instead of just going forward, okay? And really elite hitters, we've talked about this in the past, when this leg starts to turn, the upper body does not go in the same direction. The bat doesn't go in the same direction. From here up actually goes back. And when my upper body tilts back, that keeps my head, again, back, okay? So it's two parts, really. If I don't do a good job coiling, if I just shift forward, my head's gonna go forward. Now, even if I do a good job coiling, again, if my upper body doesn't stay back and tilt back, if it just goes forward or just turns, my head's gonna go forward. So I really gotta do both things to make sure that my head, it's not moving forward, my body is not jumping forward. Now I can stay back behind the ball, I can get my barrel turned deep into the zone, and I can get my barrel turned up into the ball. So both really, really important parts of the swing to hopefully keep your head still while launching, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that helps you out. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any more questions. Subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, share with all your friends, all that good stuff. And that's all we got. Thank you. We'll talk to you later.